What's the biggest fight the UFC could possibly make right now? Is it the dream matchup between two of the greatest of all time, Jon Jones and Alex Pereira? Or is it a clash between two dominant pound-for-pound kings in their absolute prime, Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria? Well, if you ask UFC Hall of Famer and former lightweight king Khabib Nurmagomedov, the answer is crystal clear. And it might not be the one you're thinking of. Khabib recently sat down with Josh Thompson and dropped a bombshell opinion. He firmly believes that a super fight between his protege, Islam Makhachev, and the featherweight champion, Ilia Topuria, would be a much bigger spectacle than the often discussed bout between Jones and Pereira. I think right now, I think Topuria-Islam can be the biggest fight, Khabib stated. When asked to compare it directly to Jones versus Pereira, he didn't hesitate. Not Jon Jones and Pereira. Now, this is a huge statement, so let's break it down. The Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira fight is a fantasy matchup for the ages. You have Jon Jones, arguably the greatest mixed martial artist to ever step into the octagon. The man is a legend, a two-division champion with a near-flawless record. His only official loss was a controversial disqualification years ago. He dominated the light heavyweight division with 11 total title defenses, and then moved up to heavyweight and won the title in his very first fight. Even though he's technically retired, the talks of a comeback, especially against a killer like Pereira, keep the fans buzzing. Then you have Alex "Potent" Pereira. This guy's story is just cinematic. A former two-division glory kickboxing champion who transitioned to MMA and in just a few years captured UFC titles in two different weight classes, middleweight and his current home, light heavyweight. He's known for his terrifying punching power, the stone hand that has put so many opponents to sleep. A fight between him and Jones would be a battle of legends, a clash of styles, and a truly historic event. So, how could anything possibly be bigger than that? This is where Khabib's perspective comes in, and it's all about timing, legacy, and what it means to be at the absolute peak of the sport. Let's look at the other side of the coin. Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. Right now, these two are arguably the number 1 and number 2 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Islam Makhachev, handpicked by Khabib as his successor, has lived up to all the hype and more. He became the lightweight champion and has looked virtually untouchable, racking up dominant victories. He's now moving up to welterweight to challenge for a second belt, proving his ambition to be considered among the all-time greats. His grappling is suffocating, a continuation of that Dagestani wrestling pressure that Khabib himself made famous. But his striking has also evolved to an elite level. And then there's Ilia El Matador Topuria. The man is pure charisma and violence. He stormed through the featherweight division, undefeated, and captured the title with a spectacular knockout of the legendary Alexander Volkanovski. Topuria has that superstar quality. He's confident, he backs up his talk, and he has knockout power in both hands. He's made it clear he wants to be a two-division champion and has been calling for a fight with Islam for a while now. A fight between them would be a clash of two undefeated champions in their absolute prime. It's not about legacy versus legacy. It's about two fighters at the zenith of their powers colliding to determine who is truly the best in the world right now. Khabib continued his comparison, saying that while Jones versus Pereira is still a big fight, it's not on that level. I don't think it's same level. Why? It could be the age factor. Both Jones and Pereira are in their late 30s, while they are still incredible athletes. A fight between them is more of a legacy capstone. It's celebrating the past and present. A fight between Makhachev, who is 32, and Topuria, who is 27, is about the future. It's about defining the next era of MMA. It's a contest to crown the undisputed pound-for-pound king for years to come. The energy around a Makhachev-Topuria fight would be electric. You have two massive, passionate fan bases from Georgia and Dagestan. You have a clash of styles, the unstoppable force of Topuria's boxing against the immovable object of Makhachev's grappling. You have two fighters who genuinely seem to dislike each other, adding a personal rivalry to the mix. It has all the ingredients for a fight that transcends the sport. Khabib also touched upon the rumored UFC card at the White House. He suggested that a fight like Jones versus Pereira might be more of a showcase bout there, but he had a different idea for what the main event of such a card should be. He said, "I think if you're making a White House fight, it has to be more American fighters. It has to be American fighters representing their country, and they fight against other guys." From his point of view, having a Georgian fighter against a Russian fighter at the White House doesn't quite fit the theme. It's an interesting take on the matchmaking for such a symbolic event. But back to the main point. Is Khabib right? Is Makhachev versus Topuria truly bigger than Jones versus Pereira? Let's consider the numbers. The narrative of two undefeated prime champions clashing for pound supremacy is incredibly compelling. It's a story that sells itself. Think of the legendary fights of the past. Often, when the two best active fighters in the world finally meet. This has that kind of feel. Of course, the star power of Jon Jones is undeniable. He is a household name, even to casual fans. A comeback fight for him would draw massive attention no matter who the opponent is. Pairing him with another monster like Pereira only amplifies that. It's a guaranteed blockbuster. However, Khabib's argument is that the competitive relevance of Makhachev versus Topuria is higher. It's not just a big fight. It's the most important fight in the sport. The winner wouldn't just get a victory, they would get the crown. The title of baddest man on the planet would be legitimately on the line in a way that's hard to argue. So, what do you guys think? Khabib has made his choice. He's backing the new generation. He sees the future of the sport in a battle between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. Does the allure of two prime, undefeated champions outweigh the legendary status of Jon Jones and Alex Pereira? Or is the mystique of the GOAT returning to face a fellow two-division champion simply too big to top? It's a fascinating debate, and honestly, as fans, we'd be lucky to see either one of these fights happen. Let me know down in the comments which fight you think is bigger, and why. Is it Team Jones Pereira or Team Islam Topuria? I'm really curious to hear your takes on this. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more MMA content. See you in the next one.